fucking, you know what happened? They've been found inside of cloud. What the fuck? The, you know, every so the fucking, every so like the internet will just restart and stop itself. I have no idea why. It just does. Doesn't really tell us why, but it just fucking does. It just does. But we're here. We're here. We're live. It's a Rob Black Show. But yeah, it's bizarre how it does it sometimes. Just randomly will, almost like it recycles itself. Just like the computer that's over there for the YouTube shit. That fucking thing won't, at least twice a day, it'll make me like re-put in the wireless codes. So I have no idea why it does that. I'm gonna move this shit. It's just like a constant. It's just a constant fucking. Just a constant battle with the internet. Yeah, stomach here. So I just came back. So I was here. I thought the thing was on, but then when I went to do the live feed, it said streaming not connected. Fuck. So we had to connect the goddamn thing on. Big pain right in the balls. But hey, we're on now. So how's everybody doing? I am Rob Black. I am your host. This is the Rob Black Show, and we are here for an exciting 3 hours of non-stop action that will, I'm sure, bring you great joy and excitement in your fucking lives. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Great excitement in your life. And go, I fucking know. I got a billion things to get to today. And we're back on Jesus, there's like we missed one day of addressing current events, and 8 billion things happen. Seriously, a billion things happen. 100 billion things happen. Quadrillion billion things happen. I even got Jack Smack busting balls. I know, I just told you what happened, Smack. For Christ's sakes. So it happens. The internet. Come fix my fucking internet. Make sure that it doesn't get undone. Bastard. So, anyways. How was everybody? We had a good night. Did you guys have a good night? I laid some pipe last night. I did. I had some sex last night. Remember, I told you guys I was going to have some sex. I did have some sex. I did. I'm telling you right now. I'm not bashful. I'm telling you exactly what I did. I had sex. Yes, I did. And the concept was I did not, was not able to work out again. For the umpteenth time, which is very upsetting, but it was what it was. And Katie had told me before that if you have sex, it burns something like 200 to 300 calories. So I figured that I should get some sexual intercourse in because it would burn some calories, considering I was not able to work out. Now, this working out thing is starting to upset me because, again, I'm putting on some motherfucking weight. It's upsetting me because I feel that I'm getting to be a big fat fuck again. I've had this conversation with you all many times before, and it's really starting to piss me off. Now, here's the problem, and I'm going to see if any of you can help in this matter. Now, I have some good listeners, some good diehard fans like Jack Smack and Big Patrick, and they send me from t-shirt designs, artwork, to Jack Smack making and sending me music parodies. Well, at least the music that I need to make parodies. I explained to you all that were with us on the night show that we are currently putting together song parodies. Well, actually, Katie Summers will be putting together song parodies because that's something that she was explaining to me the other night that she wanted to do. And what that is I don't even want to tell the afternoon crowd what it is because I think the Wilder bunch listened to the night show, and the more conservative crowd listens to the day show. And the conservative crowd, if they hear what Katie Summers is talking about, I think it would turn you off to the Katie Summers experience. So I don't even want to tell you what that is. I don't. I'm going to save the story of her her outrageousness because we talked about it last night. It'll go up on YouTube today, and then you can listen to the full extent of her lunacy. But I will tell you this. She is into making song parodies, but a little hint or a little teaser. Her song parodies are nothing like you would imagine. And as she explained to me, oh, the Weird Al Yankovic stuff. I said yes. She says no. She says I don't prescribe to those song parodies. She goes, I have different song parodies. And I said, well, what are your song parodies? And she said, well, my song parodies are simple. I substitute the word you and I put the word Jew. I said, what? She says, yes, you've never done that? I said, no, can't say that I've done that. She goes, really? I said, no, Catherine, I've never done that. No different than I ever sat in a campfire with friends and had drinking games to Johnny Rebel, and every time he used the word nigger, we would take shots. She goes, really? She goes, okay, then I guess it's just me. I said, I definitely think it's just you and your friends in Texas. She goes, well, what we would do is we would listen to songs, and every time they said the word you, we would substitute it for Jew. And I said, so you would make the whole song go with the parody of Jew. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I go, like, example, if you were singing about, hey, Jude, you would say, hey, Jew. She goes, okay, I guess it's not using the word you, but it's close. And I go, and then you would talk about, go get your yarmulke. She goes, no, that's stupid. I go, okay. She goes, no, we would just use and take out the word you and put Jew. So the whole song would be exactly the way it is, except every time the word you would come in, you would hear Jew. And I said, wow, that's some really fucked up, crazy shit. She goes, and? I said, okay. So I've got some songs that all have the referencing of you. I have Scorpions, There's No One Like You, which Katie Summers will incorporate There's Nobody Like You. And some other you songs that I just got flowing in. And now the entire scope of Katie Summers' craziness will be able to be heard later on YouTube, and I think we'll just title it Katie Summers and Her Jew Parodies. That will be a good title, but nonetheless, I was wondering if all of my great fans that constantly inundate me with rather it's videos or it's song ideas or any of these types of things, if they would happen to know anything about WordPress. If any of my great fans would know anything about WordPress, meaning knowing how to use WordPress, knowing how to put websites into WordPress, and doing something not more productive than sending me either racist songs or racist videos, but also engaging in some volunteer work, as I would call it. Kind of like the volunteer army, you know, the National Guard, something like that. It would also be the volunteer working for the Rob Black Army, the Rob Black Show, where I'm talking about. I want to incorporate and put the robblackshow.com and adultfyi.com onto a WordPress site. Now, we've had WordPress sites before in the past, and I've worked on the WordPress sites, and I know what the fuck I'm doing. But they were more stream-backed with all of their bells and whistles of the WordPress site, and more importantly, there was a bit of a learning curve in putting together the WordPress site, meaning graphics, colors, setting up the templates, and so forth and so on. And at this phase, I do not have, and it's a weird thing, and I've explained it to y'all before. Like, now I sound like a fucking hillbilly, y'all before. I explained to all of you before that the way my schedule breaks down and the way the old fucking jerk off in the other room schedule breaks down, we only have a certain amount of time to do things. And what I mean by that is the show gets done at 3 o'clock. Let's say it never does, but let's just say it gets done at 3. I don't jump into work at exactly 3:01. I usually field some calls and or return calls to different, I should say, agency people. People that are working on different things for us, rather it's Bruce back in New York, or it's Peter, or it's my boy Kleinrock. There's like 3 or 4 different people that I'm constantly in conversation with about, rather it's the book, rather it's the documentary, rather it's XPW, rather it's something that we've got fires in the oven, or cookies in the oven, or pokers in the fire, whatever the fuck it is. So when that takes place, nothing's going on. And or sometimes I'm in a technical conversation with the server people, or the Dacast people, or the streaming people, or the Roku people, which takes godly hours, like an hour anytime I'm engaged with them. Whether I'm setting up a radio feed or some other fucking meandering shit that seems like it takes forever. So once I get moving on one of these goddamn sites, once I get moving on one of these goddamn sites and these issues, I have about 2 hours to get moving on something. So in that span of 2 hours, it basically is either making the VOD boxes, putting up the YouTube videos, or doing all the graphics. And if you notice, all those graphics, I make those graphics. Again, I'm not Da Vinci. I'm not painting the fucking Mona Lisa. But when you see the graphic, and the goddamn graphic says Sochi and Schindler's List, and it has a picture of the little Russian girl with the red outfit, and then it's got the picture of the Nazis with the girl with the red coat, I make all that stupid thing. So I sit there and I put the fucking artwork on the goddamn page of like the gray background. And then I put the 2 pictures. I do all that. I gotta fucking find the pictures. I gotta do all of that stuff. Again, we're not talking about rocket scientists here, but it does take a couple fucking minutes to put that shit together. So when I'm doing all of that, and then I gotta make the videos and tag the videos, that is all I have time to do until it's 5:30, 5:45, and it's time to go eat dinner. And then once we get back, it's time to start the show at fucking 8 o'clock. So then from 8 to 10, nothing gets done except the show. And then from 10 o'clock on is able to do more work. Well, if I want to work out, or if I want to get home to Katie's house to hang out and give her the old sausage, or any of those things, more time gets cut in. So basically, we're like a Ferrari, and that's the best I can say. We're a Ferrari that's basically operating on half the muscle power of the car. Because if we had somebody that would be able to do more of the things that I needed, which are a WordPress site, that could actually facilitate the videos and put it through on a cycle. If you notice, the RobBlackShow.com site hasn't been 100% updated in like a week or so. Why? Because I have to I have to go in there manually. It's not automatically updated. So I have to go in there and take coding out, and I can't do that and put up YouTube videos and make artwork and make fucking VOD boxes all in the one fucking vein. It just doesn't work. So if any of you motherfuckers know WordPress or know any of this web stuff that could help out, that would be greatly appreciated. Because I can't even do some of the stuff that would be beyond hilarious for the show, like video parodies. You know, Katie just hit me up and said, too bad we can't do spoof music videos of the song parodies, which we could. We just have no fucking time. And Jack Smack goes, I have no clue, bro. I'm worthless. Fucking Jack Smack. And Jack Smack gets me music fucking songs from the internet. Jack Smack, learn WordPress. It's not hard. Come on now, you hillbilly, wherever the fuck you're from. So these are the things. And if I can get Patrick, the little cocksucker from the East Coast, to just forego all of his dreams and ambitions of what he's doing out there to move out here, we'd be on to something. But I just need that one motherfucker like we used to have back in the days. that could be part of the clique and do this. I'll tell you, we don't even update the clips for sale stores like we should. It's either clips for sale or the video on demand site, and the video on demand site makes more money than the clips for sale stores. So it's better to do the fucking video on demand site than it is the clips for sale stores. But if you look at the clips for sale stores, you know, I got a teen store up there. I think we only got 50 scenes up, and I got another 200 to put up. That's fucking money. That's money that I lose. Every day I lose money on that fucking store because I'm not putting up new content. Every day you need to put up new stuff in the clip store, so it's constantly updating to the top of the chart. But I can't fucking do it. Why? Because I don't have fucking time to sit here and upload it. And you would say, well, what about the old fucking prick in the next room? Again, the old prick in the next room, that motherfucker writes stories all day. So he does the one stupid porn story to go up, to everybody jerk off to, and go, oh, great, porn story. But then he works on all of the mainstream stuff, the stuff that goes in the books, the stuff that the fucking agents and the TV writers and the comedy people like, that actually show creativity and mainstream acceptability, not writing about a fucking pussy and a dick and fucking AIDS. That stuff is basically, we do a show and we do what we do for two markets. We do a show for porn and all the porn people, so they could all fucking jerk off on themselves and be like, look at our names, look. And then we do a show for the mainstream people that go, hey, we could make this guy's collection of 100 stories into a movie or a sitcom or any of that stuff, from getting in the bathtub with Katie Summers and shitting in the tub to shitting in her toilet and trying to clean it out with my foot or strapped to toilet paper. All of to running out of gas and running down North Hollywood streets with a fucking gas can. All of these stories are a fodder for the mainstream viability. So we sit here and we do 2 shows. It's crazy. So if any of you motherfuckers out there that know WordPress or just want to be involved and you're not too psycho where you're going to try to like fucking stab me with a pen in my neck, you crazy motherfuckers, hit us up. rzblack@yahoo.com. rzblack@yahoo.com. Now, if you're a fucking weirdo or you're a fucking pedo or you got AIDS, don't fucking hit us up. I'm prejudiced against people with AIDS. I don't want people with AIDS hanging out in my office. I don't want you spreading your fucking AIDS on me. Now, if you wore one of them suits or a Bubble Boy suit, like the movie Bubble Boy or Little Boy in a Plastic Bubble with John Travolta, and you come outside and you're in like a little space suit, then maybe I'll deal with you. Or if you just wore a bubble hood, like a dome, like Bubble Boy, and I could just put you in the corner and I gave you work to do and you worked through your little bubble environment, that's another thing. But if you're just going to be rolling up in my office full of fucking hamburger fucking lesions like this, coughing and fucking blowing your fucking snot, and you just fucking AIDS is just pouring out of you, nah, you keep that shit at your house, okay? Keep that shit at your house. I'm not Denzel Washington looking to fucking hang out with you in Philadelphia. It's not my cup of tea, okay? It's not my cup of tea. I'm not looking to do stretch class with John Stalliano, okay? I'm not looking to have his dildo from his ass get shoved up my ass. I'll pass on that, all right? I'll pass on that. So if you are free of those diseases, and retards, no retards, and nobody with cerebral palsy I know that's not being in the same vein of a retard, but it's close. And it frightens me, and I would be frightened. Now, what is on the table? Midgets. If there's any midgets that are looking for a job and that would like to work, and you can't find work at a lot of places because, let's face it, who wants to hire a fucking dwarf to do anything except throwing them, putting them in a Wizard of Oz play, or basically resting your fucking balls on their fucking head. Other than those things, I've never found too many useful things for dwarfs. They're not going to be playing any sports. They're not going to be bodyguards. They're not going to be anything in the political spectrum. I think that's something you'll never see. I think when people have said, do you think we'll ever see a black president? Yeah, well, maybe. You think we'll ever see a woman president? Yeah. You think we'll ever see a dwarf president? No, absolutely not. No fucking way will we ever see a fucking dwarf president. Never gonna happen. That's one of those things that you can pretty much guarantee in the history of any of our lifetime, our children's lifetime, our children's children's lifetime, our children's 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 lifetime, will you ever see a fucking dwarf as the president. I think it's safe to go out on that limb. I think it's safe to go out, and if you could gamble away the United States oil supply along with their gold supply, it would be a safe bet to take that action to say we will never, ever see a dwarf become president of the United States. Ever! And I'm not talking about someone that's just tiny, small, like one of them guys who you look at and go, wow, that's a small guy. I'm talking about a full-on dwarf. Big head, long monkey arms, like, you know, like, hey, man, Wizard of Oz dwarfs. Never. Time bandits? Never. You're never going to see ever a fucking dwarf as the president of the United States. Never going to happen. But if a dwarf wanted to come and work here at the Rob Black Show, I'd be looking for a dwarf. And if they could do WordPress, I definitely can do that. So let's get on board. You got Cripple Dan over here. Cripple Dan says he can learn WordPress, and I can do other shit too. Send me the stuff you need done. Everybody wants me to send stuff. I want, and that's what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do. But I wish I had somebody here in this fucking office. That's what it used to be like back in the days, man. I'd have somebody here with me, and they could be part of like, it's almost like my right hand. That's what I miss that so much. If I could get emotional about anything, I would get emotional about that. Missing I'm missing the action of having somebody here with me, and that is a fucking bummer. I used to have a great rapport with a lot of people. Holy shit! All right. Patrick just sent me a thing called Assistive Technology in Action, and the guy's name is Jared, and he's fucking retarded. You guys are going off today, aren't you? Okay. Oh my God. Guys, you guys got to go to Assistive Technology in Action.
I'm Charlotte, and I'm Jared's mom. Jared is an amazing young man. He has a great sense of humor. He loves spending time on the computer and interacting with people around the world and also us as a family at home. Jared was born with cerebral palsy, and it affects him physically, but mentally and intellectually, he's very smart.
Oh, man, you guys are fucking horrible. All right. Somebody get me a hold of Jared. Somebody get me Jared. You guys, if you want to see this, it's called Assistive Technology in Action. It's on YouTube, and it's called Meet Jared. And he's fucked up. He's got cerebral palsy, and he's Chinese, isn't he? He's a chink. I don't know about chinks. Maybe a crippled chink. But he frightens me. But anyways, there's also Charissa's story, my life journey with cerebral palsy. Is she looking for work?
I was born 18 years ago in Littleton, Canada. My mother had an emergency C-section
Oh,
because
I'm going to hell.
Would get me.
Let me just see. Oh, Jesus.
And
this bully, she was bullied until she was in 8th grade. Oh, you poor kid.
I made an amazing group of friends.
Oh,
Really
Jesus.
hard.
Oh,
And
oh, God.
cerebral palsy.
Oh, Jesus.
And
I can't make fun of a little kid with fucking CP. That's horrible. Alright. That's horrible. Alright. That's horrible. I'm bad. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Alright, guys. God damn. This is horrible. There's people with cerebral palsy. Okay, how about this guy? There's a guy named Clay Rushing. It's the Clay Rushing story.
But parts of my brain were damaged. I'm a quadriplegic.
This is called cerebral.
Clay overcame his disabilities and went to college. Going through all school, I was given an attendant. They would write notes for me. And they would,
I couldn't have one of these guys in the office working with me. I couldn't. Midgets are alright, but Clay Rushing, I can't. If you guys want to see Clay Rushing, it's called Cerebral Palsy Will Not Stop Me, the Clay Rushing story. I repeat, Cerebral Palsy Will Not Stop Me, the Clay Rushing story. He's a little more functioning. He's almost like Jerry from Facts of Life, or the comedian, the Josh Blue guy. So he's close to being able to be a functioning cerebral palsy, but he still is pretty fucking retarded looking. I mean, look at him here. He's sitting out in front of a fountain. He's just chilling.
There are several people that kept me focused and let me know that I was in the right place. One was Dr. Flynn.
The curriculum here in the School of Divinity is difficult.
Can you imagine if he was like, there's one guy that really helped me, and his name was Rob Black, and then it would show him in the office, and I'd be throwing shit at him. I'd be like, Clay, come here. He'd be like, and it'd take him like fucking 20 minutes to get over. Yes, Rob, and I go, never mind. Clay, don't worry about it. I'm sorry, man. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. All right, Rob. I'm just gonna go back into my office, and then wait until he finally gets to where he's got it. And I'm like, Clay, I remember. Fuck, come back. And he's like, oh, gee, okay. And he's like, and he comes back, and I go, fuck, I forgot again. Sorry, man. And I do that for like 2 hours until finally he's like, Rob, forget it. Forget you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Rob. You're just fucking with me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Clay. I am fucking with you. I'm sorry, man. Oh, God. Is it too early? I think it's too early in the Rob Black program to make fun of the retards. All right. Alright, Crippled Dan says, fly me down, cab from the airport, place to sleep with running warm water, foodstuffs, and I'll do it. I can listen to your show every day. That means I'm not doing shit and I got the time. I'm not going to pay to work for free, you know. Laugh out loud. Alright, Crippled Dan, I might have to work something out. Crippled Dan's alright, because he's not retarded, he's just crippled. Again, crippleds are alright in my book. Crippleds are alright. Crippleds are definitely alright, because they're not retarded. The retardation comes in, and that's where it fucking throws me off. And trust me, cerebral palsy is as close to being a fucking retard as you can get. There used to be this guy when I was growing up called Roberto. I know, he had the same name as me. I know, it's bad. I shouldn't even be telling you guys that, because now you all just make fun of me. But his name, oh my God, I'll leave it to Patrick to just send me a page of all it is people with cerebral palsy. It's just a YouTube page, and it's got things like this. And I've got to click on this just because of the catchphrase. It says, I'm not retarded, I have cerebral palsy, by Nicole Busy. So let me click on Nicole Busy.
Lauren, 31, was born with cerebral palsy. When she was born, the doctors didn't think she would be able to do anything for herself.
I they said that I might not be able to do anything.
Even though she overcame the obstacle of being handicapped, she is now dealing with the Child Protection Service, also known as CPS, invading her life and saying she's a retard and can't maintain her family.
The CPS come and they said I'm retired. They said I got new baby.
Her husband Milton is also being labeled as incapable of handling the family and being labeled an alcoholic.
When I beat my wife, which I don't, they tell me I'm abusive and I'm an alcoholic and drunk all the time. People say I'm not.
Well, I don't understand why they won't give her kids back.
I'm tired of the CPS system.
While Lauren and Milton are trying to see the bright side of things, it is getting harder and harder for them to think that the CPS system will ever leave them alone. And
I got to throw this out there. Milton, what he said was, Milton's, okay, this is called, guys, if you guys want to follow along, it's called I'm Not Retarded, I Have Cerebral Palsy by Nicole Busy. And it's on YouTube. I repeat, I'm not retarded, I have cerebral palsy, and it's by Nicole Busy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's now just listen to this.
They said I'm retired. They said I got a new baby.
her husband Milton is also being labeled as incapable of handling the family and being labeled an alcoholic.
When I beat my wife, which I don't, they tell me I'm abusive and I'm an alcoholic and drunk all the time. People say I'm not.
Well, I don't understand why they.
Okay. Milton said they accused him of beating his wife, the cerebral palsy, I'm not retarded girl. They accused him of being an alcoholic and doing drugs, which he don't. Now, he's got no teeth or nothing, but that's besides the point. I got some missing teeth, so I won't hold that against him. This is where I have an issue. At what point are you not drunk, are you not fucked up, and are you not just completely insane that you look at somebody that is completely hunched over in a wheelchair like this, and you look at them and go, oh yeah, I gotta fuck her. Oh yeah, that is a hot piece of ass. Hey baby, how are you? Oh yeah, you fucking, yeah, I was wondering if maybe me and you could get together and go out to them. I mean, come on, man. That you don't even have to be drunk or fucked up for the social service people to go, hey man, you gotta be drunk and fucked up to be fucking her. And where did you meet her, motherfucker? What, were you just walking down the fucking, at the mall, and you seen this crippled, retarded girl going, everybody love me? And you went up and were like, hey, baby, you want to go out for a slice of pizza or something? Get the fuck out of here. Milton's fucked up without even me seeing him being fucked up. All right? That's just a dude that's like fucking crippled motherfuckers. It's horrible.
Leave give her kids back.
I'm telling you, she's cute. She's in a wheelchair. You better make it.
Tim and Lauren met in Oakland and fell in love. He is 55 and she is 31.
So I'm always out in the neighborhood. She comes along. She's with my kids. My kids are outside people, you know. So she comes along. We meet and greet, and she's cute. She's in a wheelchair. You better make it. She's still cute. She got
No. Listen to me. Crippled Dan is in a fucking wheelchair. Okay, Crippled Dan is in a fucking wheelchair. He's like this. Hey, how you doing? My name's Crippled Dan. It's nice to meet you. This lady is not just in a wheelchair. She can't fucking talk. She's like this. Who the fuck rolls that fucking rolling and you're like, ooh, she's cute. It's not the fucking wheelchair girls on the fucking roller girls on fucking A&E. This is a straight up handicapped, fucking cerebral palsied out, retarded girl, and the brother's going, oh, she's in a wheelchair. She's cute. No, this ain't Crippled Dan. Hey, how you doing? This motherfucker, this is a creepy, fucked up dude, man. It's a creepy, fucked up dude. Creepy. I know I'm bad. I'm horrible. I know.
She comes along. She's with my kids. My kids are outside people, you know. So she comes along. We meet and greet, and she's cute. She's in a wheelchair. But that'll make a difference. She's still cute. She got a hell of an attitude, you know. And she got to get up and go. She get up and she do things. She thinks like she's a good person. So in turn, I said to myself, well, I can give her some help in that. I'm usually helping everybody else.
He said, do you want to get in your bed with me? Because don't come out late. Well, hurting. I can't sleep on the floor too much. And I got in my bed, you try on, the Harry got in there.
This motherfucker taking advantage of a retarded girl, man. That's wrong. This motherfucker be like, you want to get in bed? My legs all hurting. You get in bed and say, like that, and then, this motherfucker's taking advantage of a retard. This ain't admirable. He's taking advantage of a retarded girl. That's some fucked up, repugnant shit right there. Who would take advantage of a retard? Seriously. This is horrible. Fucking horrible. Why would you take fucking advantage of a retard? That's horrible. That is horrible. It's horrible. Jesus. Oh, listen to Crippled Dan. CP is not a form of mental retardation. CP fucks up the muscles, and you need the muscles in your tongue, mouth, and jaw to talk. It has nothing to do with being a retard. That's like calling a burn victim with no lips a retard. Laugh out loud, it doesn't interfere with their brain at all. That must be Dan. You know, Dan is very partial to people with CP. So I think Dan's got a form of CP, and he's just taking those pills, like in that movie Awakenings, that regresses his CP, and eventually Dan's gonna get CP, and he just doesn't want me to fucking call him a retard. He wants me to be educated. So eventually, when he's like, hey, Rob, hey, I'm not like, you fucking retard. He's like, maybe I told you I told that retardation. Maybe I told you I told that lips. I told that man. And I'm like, Dan, listen, I'm with you, boy, but I can't bring you out in public because people are going to say, hey, there's Rob Black and his fucking retard. I can't. Well, I got to explain. When somebody says, hey, Rob, what's up with your retarded friend? I got to keep the speech going and go, listen, my friend, Dan is not a retard. Okay? CP is not a mental retardation. CP fucks up the muscles that you need in your tongue, mouth, and jaw to talk. It has nothing to do with being a retard. Don't you understand? This is my friend Crippled Dan. It's like calling a burn victim with no lips a retard. Do you understand that? It doesn't interfere with his brain. Listen, Crippled Dan, I wouldn't be hanging out with a motherfucking burn victim either. Have you ever seen a fucking burn victim? And I'm not talking about somebody that just gets burned on their arm and they got that nasty, mushy flesh. I'm talking about those motherfuckers that like they get torched in like a fire and they come out and they got no arm, no ears, no lips, no eyes, and they're just this fucking burned up, charred up piece of flesh. Like the guy in Dancing with Stars. If I had to look at that fucking guy every day, I couldn't. If he walked into my office and was like, hey, how you doing? I'd like to have a job. I'd be like, bro, go get a fucking skin graft or something. You're disturbing, all right? You're disturbing, all right? Crippled Dan, I couldn't eat. I know it's horrible. I'm so superficial. I'm so bad. I know I'm bad. I know what's going to happen when I finally have kids. I'm going to have a kid that comes out of Katie Summers' cunt that's retarded with cerebral palsy and a burn victim. And you say, Rob, how's he going to be a burn victim? Because when he shoots out of her cunt, the doctor's going to drop him. He's going to hit a fucking gas line in the operating room. It's going to torch his little body on fire. They put him out, and they're going to bring him over and say, Mrs. Akira, we're sorry. You got a retarded cerebral palsy burn victim as a kid. And the kid's going to grow up to be this fucking, and it won't happen. You know why? Because Katie Summers will take it up to the fucking woods and let it fucking roam free. That's what she'll do. She'll let it roam free. She'll go, here you go. There you go, burn victim, crippled, retarded kid. Go roam free. And the fucking kid will be running through the fucking jungle until it grows up and comes back and fucking murders us. Fucking kills us. Fucking burn victim. That wasn't a good analogy, Dan. A burn victim with no lips is not a retard. It's just somebody that's more frightening than the fucking Holocaust, all right? It's more frightening than I would rather be in Nazi Germany during the Holocaust and waiting my turn to possibly get torched and get shot in the head for not making a hinge fast enough than have to have a fucking burn victim mount me and fuck, all right? Anyways, I'm sorry. I know I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I know I'm going to hell. It's a horrible show. Right now, everybody turn the fucking program off. I know. I'm sorry. Anyway. Okay, hold on. let me, Patrick sent me something. Patrick sent me something. This is, what's the cookie dance? Alright, so Patrick sent me a guy named Support Tommy. Who is this? Alright, you guys. This is his name, Support Tommy, doing the cookie dancing. If you guys go to YouTube, it's called Support Tommy doing the cookie dancing. And he's got his own fucking channel. And this cocksucker doing the cookie dance has got more views than Katie Summers reading my book. I'm going to have to tell Katie Summers to bust out a fucking wheelchair and start acting like she's fucking retarded with cerebral palsy. Where she's reading my book. Today I gotta read an excerpt from the Rob Black Extreme Thoughts. Support Tommy cookie dancing. Get the fuck out of here, Tommy. You fuck. I'm gonna have to get fucking Tom Byron in a fucking wheelchair and just say that Tom Byron experienced some head trauma, for Christ's sake. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Cannonball Dookie. Hold on. I got another one. Cannonball Dookie, take one. Go! Dude, they just... Oh my God, what the fuck? Leave it to Patrick. He just sent me a guy doing a cannonball in the water, and he shit himself, and turds came out of his asshole. Only Patrick would have this type of stuff. What the fuck is wrong with my guys? Seriously, what is wrong with my guys? Here comes fucking Crippled Dan. Stephen Hawking is so fucking retarded, it makes his voice sound like a robot. Why? What the guy from Dancing with Stars? What is Cher's son? Yeah, the guy from Dancing with Stars, not Cher's son. Cher's son is a she-male, is a transgender. Yeah, the Dancing with Stars guy, the guy that was fucking burned in the war, that guy. All right, that guy was disturbing. Stephen Hawking, I get it, but I don't think he's got cerebral palsy. Stephen Hawking is just, he's got, and plus Stephen Hawking is different. If you give me a cerebral palsy guy that will fucking talk like a robot and move his fucking wheelchair with a fucking pen, but that motherfucker can tell me the secret of life and mystery of the world, that's one thing. Most of these fucking retarded cerebral palsy people can't even wipe their own assholes. What, are you kidding me? Stephen Hawking can at least, let alone, he can't wipe his asshole, but he can at least go, Rob Black. Rob Black. Yes, Stephen. What can I do for you? I want to tell you the meaning of life. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he just goes through and tells me the meaning of life. Stephen Hawking, that's different. That's different. Come on, that's different. Remember, everybody, in every deformity, in every crippled, in every aberration of life, there's always that one exception to the rule. You know, and when people that are cerebral palsied out or retarded, Stephen Hawking's is that one exception. He's the one guy, okay? He's yeah, Stephen Hawking's got Lou Gehrig's disease or ALS. Come on now. He's got something like that. And let's think about it. Let's think about it, okay? Every one of those people, it's an exception to the rule. Total exception to the rule. Now, if you're going to tell me that I could have somebody that's got cerebral, let's do it this way. Retards. Retards are fucking retards, okay? Have you ever seen a retard as cool as Corky from Life Goes On, the ABC show from the 80s? Have you ever seen a fucking retard that looks like a mongoloid and that's not pissing on himself, drooling on himself, and going, no, Corky doesn't. Corky doesn't. The guy from Life Goes On, he don't act like that. He's straight up like, hey, how are you doing? How you doing? My name is the retard from Life Goes On. How are you? Total exception to the rule. Now, he could probably come up here and do some WordPress stuff. He could probably come up here and do some clips for sale. He definitely could actually do something. Now, every other fucking retard that I've ever come in contact with in my entire life, they can't. Never. Never. The retard at the 99-cent store that was going, no, nah, can't do nothing with that retard. The retards at most of the Special Olympics, and they finish 9th and they get a fucking ribbon. Like, oh, you finished 9th. It's like, come on. Well, this poor bastard, what are you getting? 9th. Come on now. Nothing. But the retard from Life Goes On, him, he definitely could do WordPress. He definitely could do WordPress. Okay? I know he could do WordPress. I know he could do WordPress. I definitely know he could do WordPress. I definitely know he could do WordPress. I know he could do WordPress. Alright? That retard could do WordPress. Oh, Kay Summers goes, I've decided you hate retards or people with cerebral palsy more than I do. I just think they are scary and will kill you, but you make fun of them so harshly. So I make fun of retards too harshly, Kay Summers says, but she's straight up scared of them and thinks they will kill her if she's near them. And that seems to be a more rational, a logical response to retards than me just making fun of them so harshly. That, Katie Summers, you're out of line there. My girlfriend, literally, if we're okay, do you know how most people, when they're walking down the street and they see a black person walking their way, they instantly, if they have their purse on their left side, they switch their purse to the right. You know that? You know what I'm saying? I'm not being racist. I'm not. But you know when you see a bunch of black teens and you go, oh Jesus, and you just put your head down and you clutch your money, and one of them goes like that, and you go, oh God, I'm sorry, and you run. Okay, that feeling. That feeling that somebody has when they see black teens walking towards them, or anybody with a turban, that is the same feeling that my girlfriend gets when she sees a retard. Okay, now, I've never been threatened by a retard, ever. I've never heard of a retard flying an airplane into the World Trade Center. I've never heard of a retard taking a brick and bashing Reginald Dennehy's face in the middle of the LA riots. Never. But my girlfriend is more scared of retards than she is of black people and Muslim people. Now, do you think that's strange, or am I the only one? Now, when I see a couple black teens walking towards me, I instantly take my money from my pocket and I put it in my sock. I figure they won't check my sock when they beat me up and mug me. And when I see a Muslim or anybody with a turban. I instantly am on my cell phone calling 911 saying I definitely know there's a terrorist plot and they're about 100 feet from me. Now, my girlfriend sees a retard and she instantly thinks of a fucking mass murderer. She instantly, and now I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's right. So she's accusing me of being more harsh on the retards and people with CP, but yet she's terrified and she fears retards and people with cerebral palsy more than she feels threatened by 4 black teens walking towards her with a basketball and malt liquor in their hands. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if we're on the same wavelength on that. She's a little crazy. She's horrible. God damn it. And then I got fucking Patrick sending me a video of a little girl going down an amusement park slide, and her mom catches her, and she shits from the top of the slide all the way down. Oh, man. I'm talking about retards, people with cerebral palsy. Patrick sending me people shitting on themselves. Madon. CP and ALS, this is from Crippled Dan, everybody. Because, you know, he's the medical guy in the wheelchair. Again, I swear he's got cerebral palsy. Because he's very partial to people with CP. He's very, very partial. He says he got into an accident. I say he's got fucking CP. I'm telling you, I say Dan is eventually going to get all pimped up and retarded looking. And he's just kind of bracing me for when he's working for me. And one day he comes in, he's like, Rube! Rube! And that's when he'd have to get thrown in the fucking ovens, all right? Remember, in Nazi Germany, I think Hitler burned all the cripples, all the fucking... Hey, let me ask you guys a question, since we're on burning the cripples and Hitler. I got to ask this, because Katie Summers asked me this last night, and it was just an off question, and I know all of you guys during the afternoon are far more intelligent than I am. When did Hitler not like blacks? Seriously, were there no blacks in Nazi Germany? And if there was blacks, did Hitler burn them? Because I'm trying to think, how did the Nazi neo-skinhead movement become against blacks? I never, ever hear them marching in the streets, yelling about Jews, and burning the newspaper fucking buildings down, and going after all of the Jewish-owned enterprises. I just hear them muttering words about blackies, darkies, niggers, stuff like that. At what point did the goddamn neo-Nazis hijack hating blacks and not the Jews? But yet Hitler's whole thing was hating Jews and burning Jews. Can any of my philosophical audience help me out there? I didn't actually have a question or an answer to Katie Summers when she asked that of me. That's a marvelous question, and again, I'm not as educated as all of my listeners, but when did this happen in the history? Now, maybe there was no blacks in Germany because Hitler killed them all, or maybe they just weren't over there, but I gotta imagine there was a couple darkies over in fucking Nazi Germany that were just like, hey, I'm just a little tan, you know, I'm not black. But nonetheless, at what point did the Hitler Nazi movement go from hating Jews to coming to America and lynching blacks? Help me out. Start hitting me up, guys. Crippled, that's there. There's my question. Anyways, Crippled Dan says CP and ALS are similar. CP is just more of a broad term applied to the condition. those with CP are actually better off than hawking. Laugh out loud. You should want to have CP over ALS. ALS will leave you not breathing anymore. That makes it hard to stay alive. Oh. All right, so when the time comes, CP is the better thing to have. Now, Crippled Dan, do you just get CP and Lou Gehrig's? You're born with that shit, right? I can't get it from a toilet seat in the fucking public bathroom. Can I? I don't just go sit on the toilet and all of a sudden I get I get cerebral palsy, right? Like I all of a sudden I don't sit on the toilet after one of these crippled fucking people are there, and you know, nothing like that, right? Right, and nothing like that. Okay, am I gonna? I'm not gonna get it from. Oh, come on now, man. Disability, marriage, love, and relationships. All right, I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get cerebral palsy. All right, thank you. I don't want to get it from a toilet seat. I think Crippled Dan is just hitting us with, what's this guy doing? There's a kimpy cerebral palsy guy that's lifting weights. Come on, man. I don't care. I'll beat your ass in your fucking wheelchair. Get out of here, you jerk off. Guys, like, I've been getting a lot of comments lately, and I have small legs. I have cerebral palsy, people. That's why, and I still kick ass. Yeah, okay, but I give you a beating, motherfucker. I'll still give you a beating with your little legs. Oh man, this poor Alexander Freeman on the Raven. Yeah, he's real fucked up. He's doing like a whole review of the book Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Now, again, I don't mean to make fun of people with cerebral palsy or retards, but who the fuck these people? This kid's got 29,000 views of his review of the Edgar Allan Poe Raven, and he straight up gimped the fuck out. Listen. You gotta listen.
Yeah, like,
come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
What happened when we
Get the fuck out of here.
lose?
This guy's got 29,000 fucking views of him doing that through a fucking review of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. You know what I gotta get? Alright, I got it. I need to find me some retarded people or some cerebral palsy people to read my book. And not, I mean, I love my girlfriend, Katie Summers. I love her. But maybe that's not the avenue we need to go, Katie. Maybe we need to find a fucking retard, and it goes, you know, whatever the guy with cerebral palsy, and he's reading the Rob Black book. And it's, I mean, this kid's got 29. Who the fuck is listening to this? Listen, how do you sit there? How do you listen?
That news something that we heard in the poem, it never actually describes how we were dying. Like,
come on.
well, I don't want you to I do my own.
Nah. No fucking way. This motherfucker's got 29,000 views with 24 comments. Do you understand that? Somebody find me a fucking cerebral palsy motherfucker so I could have him read the book. I could just put him on the fucking show. Okay? Okay. God damn it. What do I got here? Okay, I got some black Hitler stuff here. Hold on. One from Crippled Dan. There were very few blacks in Germany at the time. He only killed about 50,000. Others were sterilized and shit. Okay, thanks, Cripple. CP happens after birth a lot of times. A lot of times it is the fault of the doctor squeezing the head as the kid pops out. ALS just happens and you just kind of fuck. Ooh. So that means I could get ALS. Oh, that's not good. Me making fun of ALS means I could get it. That's not good. That means well, how old? When does it come on? For Christ's sakes. All right. Let's see. What else we got? Alexandra. Alexandra hit me with. She hit me with something. She gives it more cryptic though. That's what I love about Alexandra. Alexandra's like, the world is not ready for this. It's like, just give me that shit. The world is not ready for this. She sent me an article. Desmond Tutu compares Uganda's anti-gay bill with Hitler's behavior in Nazi Germany. Okay. Desmond Tutu has urged Uganda's president not to sign a harsh anti-homosexuality bill that could see same-sex couples sentenced to life in prison. South Africa's retired archbishop compared Yaziri Mazovic's behavior with Hitler and Nazi Germany. Although the president had pledged not to sign the bill last week, he reconsidered and said he would approve the legislation after he consulted scientists who said homosexuality was learned. Tutu, a Nobel Prize winner, said he was disheartened by Mazovic's decision because there is no scientific basis for genetic rationale for love. He said that Mazovic's decision could lead to situations like those that happened in Nazi Germany or during the apartheid. South Africa, apartheid police used to rush into bedrooms where whites were suspected of making love to blacks. Tutu said in a statement it was demeaning to those whose crimes was to love each other. It was demeaning to the policemen, and it was a blot on our entire society. The history of people littered with attempts to legislate against love or marriage across class, race, blah. But there is no scientific basis of Nazi Germany and apartheid South Africa. Mother to test these facts. Alexandra, you're pissing me off. I'm not. This isn't giving me the answer. The president's indication of approval of the bill prompted widespread commendation from Western governments. U.S. President Obama said in a statement that the bill signals step backwards for all Ugandans and warned that enhancing it would comply to East African countries' relationship with Washington. Bill is popular in Uganda, where it has been championed by Christian clerics and politicians, say it's necessary to deter Western homestead. This is about fucking queers. It's originally proposed a death penalty for category offenses called aggravated homosexual. Who gives a fuck? There, I don't care about the fucking fags, alright? God bless them. Who fucking cares? I love fags, alright? Let them all fucking marry. My sister's a faggot. I love them. I want to know about the what happened. I want to know what happened in Nazi Germany, not about gays in fucking Africa. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Not for nothing, but for the first time, the African people are actually legislating their own. Listen, here's the only thing I can say about what they're doing. At least it's blacks that are legislating blacks. At least it's not a bunch of white guys enslaving black people in their own fucking country. Now, granted, making homosexuality a sin, Well, guess what, everybody? What the fuck do you think is happening in Russia? Okay? And we just had the fucking Olympics there. So get the fuck off Africa's back, for Christ's sakes. Jesus. It's Africa, for Christ's sakes. At least a bunch of fucking blacks bitching about their own black queers. God bless them. At least it's not a bunch of white people putting their fucking Mandela in prison for 30 fucking years. So, Alexandra, I want to know about Hitler and his killing of blacks, or not killing of blacks, and why neo-Nazis that are here in America go after blacks, but Jews get the fucking free pass. I need to know that, considering that Hitler was against Jews. Blacks weren't really on his list of aggravating them. But for some reason in America, the neo-Nazi Hitler crowd hates blacks. Why the fuck is that? That is what I want to know. Thank you. Come on, Alexander, get with the program. We're get with the fucking program. Okay, Katie Summers says, yes, get a retard, so I have to be tortured by the way they speak. Oh my God, that reading would be an hour long. That retard has that many reviews because he's retarded and people go out there to make fun of him. I know! God damn it! Katie, what about if Katie, I know you're talking about doing skits and you got your Jewish princess skit. What about if you do a skit where you're the retarded porn girl? And you're like, hey, how are you? My name is Jackie. And I love to get fucked. And I'm going to be the biggest porn star in the world. Katie Summers playing the retarded porn star Jackie. Hi everybody, I'm Jackie, and today I'm going to show you how to masturbate with a dildo. And then you just fuck yourself with a dildo, and then you fuck yourself and you hit yourself in the head. Alright, Cripple Dan says, when does ALS happen? You're going to love this. ALS is often diagnosed between the ages of 40 and 75. Jesus Christ. So basically, everybody, Cripple Dan is saying that Rob Black is at the prime age for ALS. Cripple Dan, what are the fucking symptoms of ALS? How do I know if I have ALS? How do I know if I don't have ALS now, for Christ's sakes? How do I know if I don't have the symptoms of ALS? Where I need to take medication to like you do, so I don't become fucking retarded. Cripple Dan, help me. Somebody help me. Somebody! Anybody! Please help me. I feel ALS is coming on. Oh, God. Let me tell you something. If I had ALS, guys, I'd still do this fucking show. You would wheel me out. Katie would wheel me out every day because she'd be the one that would be changing my diapers. That's what she would do. She doesn't know that yet. And just like she's afraid of retards, she'd wind up having to take care of my retarded, crippled ass. Thank you, Katie. And every time she'd fucking go to fucking clean my ass, I'd fart on her like that. She'd be like, oh, that's great, Rob. She'd clean me up, wipe my asshole down. I bet you forgot a spot. Get my little sphincter. Clean it up real good. Clean it. All right, thank you. Thank you, Alexander. You gotta get. Come on, if you're going to participate in the show, you got to be with what we're talking about. Retards and Hitler and fucking and blacks. No fags, all right? Blacks weren't on the same tier as Germans, but Hitler wasn't after blacks. All right. Exactly, because Hitler was cool with blacks. Hitler was cool with darkies. Destined to witness growing up black in Nazi Germany. There, see? Fuck yeah, man. Fucking Hitler was cool with the blacks. Hitler knew. Hitler fucking knew. Hitler knew the fucking blacks are cool. He knew. He knew. Hitler knew. Listen, you know why Hitler was cool with the blacks? Because he fucking knew that ultimately to create the master race, and he was going to compete in the Olympics, and he was going to compete in all these things, he needed to have some badass basketball players. He needed to have some badass runners. He knew he needed some motherfuckers, all right? He knew. So he was cool with the blood. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Hitler knew when he was sizing up who he was going to torch. He knew when he was fucking sitting there looking at the people that he was gonna fucking burn, and who were not the essential workers, who were just he knew that ultimately the black guys and black women. First off, he knew black women had big, beautiful tits, big asses, big fucking lips, big blowjob lips. He fucking knew that. Well, and he knew Jews didn't suck dick. He knew that. He knew it. We all know that. Jews don't get blowjobs. Every Jewish princess will tell you they don't suck dick. You don't think Hitler fucking knew that? That was one of the main fucking reasons that Hitler started wiping out the Jews. Somebody came to him one day today, you know, them Jew broads don't suck dick. He was like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, yeah, the Jew broads, they don't suck dick. They don't like sucking dick. He was like, fuck them, whack them out. And he was like, what about the darkies? They're like, ooh, they love sucking dick. He's like, cool, bring them on down. Bring them on down, baby. So right out of the gate, Hitler knew Jew women didn't suck dick, flat-chested, shitty-looking bodies. Have you ever seen a fucking good-looking Jew broad? Have you? Never. Next, Hitler knew. Hitler fucking knew. Okay? The history of the black people in Germany goes back much further than most people think. One of the first Africans known to have lived in Germany was Anton William Amo. Born in today's Ghana, Amo came under the protection of the Duke of Wolfsburg in Lower Saxony and grew up in the Duke's castle. He was both the first African known to attend a German university and the first to obtain a doctorate degree. Booyah. As a professor under his preferred name of Antonio Glimos Amo Acker, he taught at 2 German universities and public social scholar. Knowing the levels of achievements, it's all more surprising to learn that Amo returned to Africa in 1774. Most accounts claim the reason for his return is named Africa was the racial discrimination he encountered in Germany. Then, as now, Africans in Europe were seen as something exotic and foreign. Some historians claim that the first sizable influx of Africans to Germany came from Germany's African colonies in the 19th century. Some Afro-Germans living in Germany, blah, 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 blah. Come on, let's get to the fucking the Hitler shit, for Christ's sakes. After World War I, more blacks, mostly French, Senegalese, and soldiers that had more offspring ended up in Germany. Estimates vary, but 1920s there were about 10,000, 25,000 Dutch, and most of them in Berlin. And until the Nazis came apart, black musicians and other entities were a popular element of the nightlife, blah, 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 blah. By the Nazis made popular in Germany and Europeans, by Europe by black musicians made in the U.S. and found life in Europe more liberating than the black home. Josephine Baker in France is a more prominent example. Both the American writer and civil rights activist W.E.B. Du Bois married to blah, 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 blah. Come on! It is interesting to note that in 1920, even during Nazi times, appeared as extra German movies training Africans, notably in German colors, blah, 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 produced by blah, blah, blah. Blacks did not always volunteer to be extras. Some were recruited by Nazi PW gangs, more below. To this day, it is a field of internment currently in German television. German blacks are most visible. Cherno Judd Black, born in Berlin, and co-host of the popular morning show on German's called blah, 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 1992. Proves it. So I'm reading that. Okay, next. Here we go. Hold on.
The Nazis and the Black Holocaust. When Adolf came to power in 1932, the racist policies of the Nazis impacted other groups besides Jews. Nazis' racial purity laws also targeted gypsies, Roma, homosexuals, mentally challenged. Of course, who wants retards running around? And blacks. Precisely how many Afro-Germans died in Nazi times is not known, but estimates put the figure between 25,000. That's nothing. Relatively low numbers of blacks in Germany. Their wide dispersal across the country, and the fact that Nazis concentrated on the Jews were some of the factors that made it possible for many Afro-Germans to survive the war. One such survivor now lives in the U.S., published a book about his experiences as a black child growing up in Nazi Germany. Han, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so they were chill. Come on, they were cool. The blacks got a pass. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Seriously, you guys, isn't that something? Isn't that something? And seriously, isn't that something that America to this day still practices racism on the blacks, and yet in Nazi Germany, when Hitler was exterminating millions of Jews, he wasn't bothered by the blacks. He was like, "Hey, you guys are cool with me." I mean, the Holocaust, the worst atrocity in Europe, not in America. The worst atrocity in America is the slave trade and what we did to the African Americans. That's the worst Holocaust in all of the United States, and I would say in all of America. But that's debatable for those who are outside the United States. Me, I'm not part of the outside U.S., so for them, the Holocaust was the worst. For me, living in America, what I've learned in American history, our worst atrocity was what we did to the African Americans, Civil War. The list goes on and on. The fact that places like South Carolina up into the year 2000 still were proudly displaying a Confederate flag, which exemplifies "Let's kill blacks." So for me, the plight of the black man is the worst atrocity that America's ever fucking witnessed and been part of. But it's amazing that in Nazi Germany, Hitler gave the blacks a pass, but America decided to cut their feet off and boil them in oil. Very bizarre, but nonetheless, we'll move on. Katie Sauer says, "I don't want that kind of karma. I would like to have a normal kid and live a healthy life. This is bad karma. Laugh out loud." Oh, Catherine. Who gets the ALS? All right, all of a sudden Katie's busting out fucking wording. ALS is a disorder that affects the function of nerves and muscles. Based on U.S. population studies, a little over 5,600 people in the U.S. are diagnosed with ALS a year. That's 15 new cases a day. It's estimated as many as 30,000 Americans have the disease at any given time, according to ALS Care Database. 60% of the people with ALS in the database are men. 93% of patients in the database are Caucasian. Ooh, white guys. Most people develop the ALS between the ages of 40 and 70, with an average age of 55 at the time of diagnosis. However, cases of the disease do occur in persons in their 20s and 30s. Generally, though, ALS occurs in greater percentage as men and women grow older. ALS is 30% more common in men than in women. However, with increasing age, incidences of ALS is more equal between men and women. There are several research studies past and present investigate possible risk factors may be associated with ALS. More work is needed to conclude determine which genetics and or environment factors contribute to developing ALS is known. However, the military veterans, particularly those deployed during the Gulf War, are approximately twice as likely to develop ALS. Yeah, because they're getting fucking doused with all sorts of weird chemicals over there. Half of all people affected with ALS live at least 3 or 4 more years after diagnosis. 20% live 5 years, up more, 10% live 10 years. There is some evidence that people with ALS are living longer, at least particularly due to clinical management interventions, reasonable possibly like conjunction of death. All right, so something over in the Gulf War seemed to give people ALS, which is fucking Middle Eastern. I would, from what I'm reading, stay away from Middle Eastern people. That's what I'm getting. Thank you, Catherine, for that news. Patrick, What does Patrick have? Of course, Patrick just has a fucking YouTube video of somebody shitting in pants or something. Alright. He's giving me a fucking a comedy bit. But, Patrick,
I'll be like, what?
we're not into fucking comedy bits right now, Pat. Come on now. I'm the comedian up here. We're not listening to comedians, jerk off. Next, let's go. Fucking Patrick, come on, you guys, let's go. Let's see. Daniel says, Daniel the cripple says, muscle weakens and dexterity problems. You really can't stop it. Hitler wasn't cool with the blacks. There just weren't many there. That's like saying he was cool with Native Americans. He's going to kill less by default as a result of their geographic location. I think there were more dark-skinned Hungarians than he killed than blacks. The neo-Nazi people hate the blacks because the majority of them come from mixed heritage. If I were to hate the same thing as Hitler, and you are a mix of Polish, Irish, and Italian, then you would have to hate yourself. Crippled Dan, go fuck yourself. That's just not a good, that's not a good, that's not a good, I don't know, it's like, that's just like a, if you were to hate the same thing, so you are a mix of Polish, Irish, and Italian, and you would have to hate yourself. It's like, you didn't really teach me anything. The neo-Nazis hate the blacks because the majority of them come from mixed heritage. It's like, no, damn, you gotta, there's more of a reasoning of why the neo-Nazis and why them here in America, why they practice hate on blacks and not on Jews when their heritage is hating Jews. That's what I want to know. You can't give me some philosophical stupid thing of, well, because you hate what you're mixed with. Like, oh, fuck, come on now. You were doing good. Stick to the retard stuff. You're better with retard shit. All right. Let's see what Alexander says. Overall, blacks fared okay during World War II. I think American Jewish people are scared to death for African Americans to be aware as to who sold us into slavery from Africa to America, and whom, in my opinion, encouraged racism to me to this day. I know what I saw in the porn, and I'll never forget. All right, so basically, Alexandra says the Jews sold Africans into slavery. All right. And she gave me a article here. Ooh, this is a long one. I like this. Okay. Following passages are from Dr. Raphael's book, Jews and Judaism in the United States, a documented history nearby. Jews also took an active part in the Dutch colonial slave trade. Indeed, the bylaws of the Raleigh and Mauricia included an imposed Jewish tax of 5 soldados for each Negro slave a Brazilian Jew purchased from the West Indies Company. Slave auctions were postponed if they fell on a Jewish holiday. Curacao in the 7th century, as well as the British colonies of Barbados and Jamaica in the 18th century. Jewish merchants played a major role in the slave trade. In fact, in all the American colonies, whether French, British, or Dutch, Jewish merchants frequently dominated. This was no less true on the North American mainland, where during the 18th century, Jews participated in the triangular trade that brought slaves from Africa to the West Indies and then exchanged them for molasses, which in turn was taken to New England and converted into rum for sale in Africa. Isaac D. Costa of Charleston in the 1750s, David Franks of Philadelphia in the 1760s, and Aaron Lopez of Newport in the late 1760s and early 1770s dominated Jewish slave trading on the American continent. Dr. Raphael discusses the central role of the Jews in the New World commerce and the African slave trade. During the 16th century, exile from the Spanish homeland and hard-pressed to escape clutches of Inquisition, Spanish and Portuguese Jews fled to the Netherlands. The Dutch enthusiastically welcomed those talented, skilled businessmen. While thriving in Amsterdam, where they become the hub of a unique urban Jewish universe and sustained status that anticipated Jewish emancipation in the West by over a century. They began in the 1500s and 1600s to establish themselves in the Dutch and English colonies in the New World. In those European outposts, the Jews, with their years of mercantile experience and networks of friends and family providing market reports of great use, played a significant role in the merchant capitalism, commercial revolution, territorial expansion that developed the New World and established the colonial economics. The Jewish Caribbean nexus provided Jews with the opportunity to claim disappropriate influence in 17th and 18th century New World commerce and established West Indian Jewry far outnumbering its contingents far north to enjoy a century which North American Jewry would not achieve for a long time to come. Groups of Jews began to arrive in Suriname in the middle of the 17th century after Portuguese regained control of northern Brazil. By Jews thereabout, they possessed more than 40 states, 9,000 slaves, contributed 29,000 pounds of sugar as a gift for building hospitals carried out active trade. Slave trading was a major feature of the Jewish economic life in Sumerian, which has a major stomping off point in the triangular trade. Both North American and Caribbean Jews played a key role in the commerce. Records of slave sale in 1707 revealed that 10 largest Jewish purchasers, 10,400 guilders, spent more than 29% of the total funds, 38,605 guilders exchanged. Wow. I'm reading here that the Jews were part of a big slave trading operation. Wow. That's some good information here. I get it now. All right. I get it now. See you guys, see how Alexandra pulls that out? See, that's some shit right there. She pulled that out. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you. She pulled that out. So that's the gimmick. I love it. I love black people that are unflinching with their opinions about this subject. When they go, overall, blacks fared okay during World War II. I think American Jewish people are scared to death for African Americans to be aware as to who sold us into slavery from Africa to America, and whom, in my opinion, encourage racism in the media to this day. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. That's fucking classic. All right, so my beautiful white girlfriend. So what I'm getting is skinhead neo-Nazi people. This is what Katie says. So what I'm getting is that skinhead neo-Nazi people are all about superior race, whites over blacks, or anything not white. Typical racist shit. Yeah, I think so. Crippled Dan hits me with, no need to worry about ALS. If you are worried that it, then start playing the lottery because you would need to have a lot of luck from them to get it. You're more likely to have one with Down syndrome or cerebral palsy. Laugh out loud. All right. Dude, let me tell you something. When Katie Summers gets impregnated with my cum, okay? When Katie Summers gets impregnated with my fucking magic cum, and I'm going to have her get amniocentesis, which is, I know it's dangerous. I know it is. I don't even want to listen to all you people say it, but I'm still going to get it done. But I'm going to get amniocentesis done. Because if that fucking kid is born or is inside the womb and it's got missing limbs, or it's fucking retarded, or any of that stuff, it's getting fucking aborted. That thing's going to get sucked out. If it's in the 3rd trimester, I'm going to have the doctor go in there with one of them hatchets, and they hack the fucking baby up, and then they suck its fucking little body parts out. There's no way that I'm going to have a little fucking retard or a little gimpy fucking cripple kid. Ain't going to happen. They're going to do that amniocentesis, draw that fluid out. They're going to check it and go, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Zakari, your kid's not a fucking gimpy retard. And I'll say, thanks, Doc. And then guess what? He'll be born to be a professional football player, playing for the University of Southern California. That's what's going to happen. And he's going to have a lot of black and gay friends. He's going to surround himself with a lot of black and gay friends and one Jew friend. And he's going to be his buddy that handles all of his money and shit. And he'll have a rainbow coalition of Jews, blacks, and fags. That's it. That's going to be my son. His name's going to be General Zakari. General Zakari, quarterback for the University of Southern California. And you'll see him at parties rolling with his clique. They'll be like, who's that? Oh, that's General. What the fuck crew is with him? Oh, that's his boy, Tyrone. Be like, hey, what up? Tyrone will be the offensive lineman for University of Southern California. They'll be like, who's that? They'll be like, oh, that's Angel. And he's the first man openly gay cheerleader for USC. And he's like, wow, give me an F. Give me a D. What does that spell? And they'll be like, well, who's that? And they'll be like, oh, that's fucking Morty Lipschitz. Who the fuck is? Oh, that's General's. That's like his right hand man. Well, what's he do? Well, he's a little Jewish fellow, and he handles all of his money. Yeah, but he's in college. He's not. Well, his family gives him money, and they give it to Morty Lipschitz, and Morty Lipschitz makes sure that General has all of his school books, and he makes sure that he has his lunches planned out, and they also put all of his exotic cars and stuff in his name because General can't have those gifts as a college athlete. So basically, they put it in Morty Lipschitz's name, and Morty Lipschitz then lets General have and use the cars, and then the NCAA doesn't know anything the wiser because it's really just in Morty Lipschitz's name. And they'll go, wow, General Zakari's got a great foundation. He's got a Jew, a black. And then they would go, now, who the fuck is that? And they go, oh, that's his crippled friend, Radio. And they go, you mean like the movie? And they go, yeah, that's Radio. And he's in the wheelchair, and he's for the sympathy so that people know that General likes retards. And that helps him with the Heisman voting because every time he scores a touchdown, he runs over to Radio and hands him the football. And then Radio grabs the football and goes, no, General! And basically, it's a great, how do you explain it? It's a great rainbow coalition. The crippled Radio, the Jew Morty Lipschitz, the fag Angel, and the black Tyrone Shoelaces. And at the end of the day, you got General Zakari winning the Heisman Trophy for USC and eventually going #1 in the NFL draft, signing a $78 million signing bonus and a $175 million 6-year contract. He's quarterback for the new expansion team, Los Angeles Bills. Thank you very much. Booyah. Next, let's on down. And Cripple Dan sends me, skinheads come from the people who Hitler was killing. Why do you think they shaved their heads? The majority aren't blonde, nor do they have blue eyes. They aren't the master race Hitler was searching for. They hate other races because they are shit. They need a scapegoat to blame their problems on. Their lives suck, and they throw the anger on a race that isn't anything like theirs. You're asking for people to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense. It does make sense, Dan. It does make sense. Because I've got to imagine that when we throw hate on different places, it's for a reason. I hate Japs. Why? They kill dolphins. There's a reason. There's a reason I hate Japs. They kill dolphins. I hate Filipinos. They eat dogs. There you go. What more can I say? I hate Muslim. I hate radical Muslims. They fly to the fucking planes into the fucking towers. Remember, Dan, what is that old added phrase? Not all Muslims are terrorists. Really? Then why are all terrorists Muslims? Thank you. Booyah. Next. let's move on to the next fucking email. Thank you. Dan Palazzo says, dude, don't abort it. Don't abort the baby. It could be your little sidekick on your show. That's a ratings getter. YouTube videos, you get tons of hits. You'd be shooting yourself in the foot if you had that baby scraped out. Nah, I can't have a baby because then Katie's going to have to take care of that fucking, that little crippled motherfucker. And Katie will wind up drowning it in the fucking bathtub. I mean, let's face it. Katie, Katie will drown it in the fucking, drown it in the bathtub, for Christ's sakes. All right, so listen to me. And Patrick just sent me a Ron Paul Explains links with neo-Nazis, Jewish race hate groups. But it's like a 12-minute rambling. It's not something I could just read to you guys. And we don't want to sit here and listen to fucking Ron Paul that jerk off. Anyways, it's the Rob Black Show. We got 8 minutes left. We're going to go into 8, well, when I say 8 minutes left, we got 8 minutes left in the blog talk. And when we hit our 2 o'clock mark, we're going to take a break. And we'll then take our break. And I got to piss. I got to piss something fierce. Seriously, I got to piss like a motherfucking racehorse. I'm not bullshitting you. I've had to piss for a while now. I've had to piss for a while. Like pee-pee for a while. For a while. Seriously. For a while. Pee-pee. I have to pee-pee. I have to pee-pee. Oh, but anyways, we're winding it down. I think we've had our fill of retards, the Nazis, the Jews, fags, every other group that we can fucking piss off today. Who have we left off that we could piss off? Seriously, is there anybody that we've left off that we could be pissing off? Or have I missed anybody? Is there anybody left that we haven't annoyed with our well, who? Is there anybody? Is there anybody out there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anybody home? Come down. I feel you feeling good. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? Seriously, I'm trying to think in the grand scheme of hurting people's feelings today. What have we, who have we missed on upsetting? Is there anybody here we've missed? There is no pain you are receiving. A distant shit smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. I don't know what the lips smoke, and I can hear what you say. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I got the feeling once again. I couldn't explain. Oh, that was Jack Smack. Was it Pat or Jack? Jack Smack was the one who sent me the Ron Paul neo-Nazi Jewish race hate groups. Jack Smack. It's a 10-minute fucking Ron Paul thing, you jerk off. Well, I'm not going to play that for 10 minutes. Ron Paul. What a lunatic he was. And his son is just as fucking retarded and a lunatic as his dad was. And the best part is his retarded son thinks he's going to fucking run for president. You know, that's what I love about these Republican nut jobs. They all, you guys got to understand something. And I don't know if we have enough time to really go into all this, but let me explain something to you. In case you haven't figured out, for the most part, America is pretty fucking liberal now. And I'm not talking about let's all run around the country and fucking blow each other in the street. But the majority of Americans, and when I say the majority of Americans, meaning most of the states where the majority of our entertainment is, our businesses, our economic prosperity is, policies are made. Every one of the states that are heavily populated by all of these groups are all Democrat-leaning. New York, Democrat-leaning. California, Democrat-leaning. Florida, Democrat-leaning. Even though Florida was such a pivotal role in the Bush presidency, these last two elections, Obama won. Florida is a middle to left leaning state. It doesn't matter what Missouri does. Doesn't matter what Oklahoma does. Nothing is in Oklahoma. Nothing is in Missouri. Nothing as far as working people. Nothing is in these shit-kicking areas that have 5 electoral votes, 3 electoral votes. The biggest state that is a nut job Republican branch is Texas. But, ladies and gentlemen, as the years go on, Texas is slowly going to get more moderate. The more Latin Americans that are migrating into Texas, more Latin Americans that are voting, more they are Democrats. Okay, when you hear people say, "Oh, Latinos are more conservative than you think," they love God. Yeah, they love God, they love beer, and they love to fuck. Please, the list goes on. Just because somebody believes in God or whatever they fucking ramble on about, it doesn't mean that they're a right-wing nut job Republican. And guess what? Regardless of how religious Latinos are, the majority of them are still working minimum wage jobs. The majority of them are still picking fruit. The majority of them are still mowing lawns. And all of those jobs are things that Republicans look down on and think they are the lowest scum of the earth. So, guess what? This country is never going to get more conservative. You will never see a time like we had in the 80s when you get a guy like Ronald Reagan who runs for president and winds up winning every motherfucking state on the electoral map like he did against Michael Dukakis. All right? And it ain't ever going to fucking happen. It ain't ever going to happen. Or what was it? Dukakis? Yeah, I think it was Dukakis that he fucking won every state. Mondale and Ferrara, he didn't win every state. But I think he ran against Dukakis and won every state. Pretty sure it was Dukakis. But let's face it, this country will never go back to the right-wing philosophies and views. It will never happen. Just like the Republicans no longer own the defense, strong on defense. There was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, when Republicans were known as being hard and strong on defense, and Democrats were weak. And listen, you look at what President Obama has done, and he's made the Democrats with this fucking fierce tenacity to fucking make sure we're safe from wiretapping, eavesdropping, to fucking droning and killing American citizens that are in other countries that are doing terroristy shit or even thinking about terroristy shit. President Obama sits in the war room and goes, if we fucking drone that dude, how many people are we going to kill? And they go, well, Mr. President, maybe 100 civilians. That's cool, fuck them, blast them. Okay. So there ain't one motherfucker out there that says Democrats are weak on defense anymore. Not with this fucking president. So you'll never see a nut job Republican way of life. And when you talk about Ron Paul and his doofy son Rand Paul and these assholes have these philosophies that you go, okay, I'm hearing you, and then they throw out shit about minimum wage, or they throw out shit about women's right to choose, and they start throwing out these crazy talking points that Republicans march to. You watch millions of people get turned off. So you will never, ever see a country like ours go back to the days of neocon Republicans. It'll never happen. And when you see all of these states, and when I say all of these states, a couple of these states that have been popping up banning gay marriage and saying that they're going to enact these laws that let you discriminate against gays based on religion. You see where these states are. Again, they're shit-kicking states that don't mean a fucking thing to the viability of this nation. Utah and fucking Missouri, all of these places that nobody with a brain would ever go to. The only ones that are there are the people that were born there and too stupid to ever fucking move out. And it don't make a fucking lick of difference if they ban whatever. And I've said from time in and time out, people there should just get up and move. If there's 200,000 gay people in Missouri, they ought to pack up and move. And watch how quick their little fucking state starts to die. They don't like blacks, get up and move. Desert these states. Let these fucking states fucking die. Let them die. Let them fucking die. Let them fucking die. And if I was the president, I would withhold federal fund. I mean, kill these fucking states. They don't mean shit in the grand scheme of things. They don't amount to shit. Again, these backwoods hillbilly states have no bearing on the economic structure of this country. Where is everything made that affects our lives? California, New York. I mean, think about where all of the commerce, all of financing. Think about where everything comes from that makes this country fucking viable and operate. Comes from democratic states. Do you think that's a fucking fluke? The fuck happens in Texas except a bunch of nut jobs? You think it's a fluke that basically everything that makes this country thrive comes from California and New York? Seriously, do you guys really think that's a fluke? Do you think it's a fluke that all the technology that we enjoy today is from California? And do you think it's a fluke that all of our financial institutions are out of New York? Do you think it's a fluke that this happens? Of course not. Of course not. This is the way America is operated. And all them states in between amount to dick. South Carolina. There's a reason that these states have 2 electoral college votes, 3 electoral college votes, fucking 5. Like, there's a reason that you see presidents and they campaign California, New York, Florida. They campaign in the big states. Nobody gives a shit about these fucking states. Pennsylvania, big electoral votes. And where? Pittsburgh, Ohio, all these big East Coast states. This is what the country is founded on. This is what the country is built on. Nobody gives a shit what happens in South Carolina. Nobody gives a shit what happens in fucking Oklahoma. What the fuck has ever been done in Nebraska? Think about Nebraska. What thriving industry is in Nebraska? Think about it. What thriving industry is in Utah except kid fucking? Except polygamy and kid fucking and being a Mormon. Other than that, what the fuck is in Utah? Exactly. So, Ron Paul, fucking the Pauls. They're fucking jerk-offs. They'll always be jerk-offs. They'll always be a minority because our country will never go back to the conservative way of life. It will never happen. Like I've explained on this show time and time again, people like me that are in our 40s now are the people that are starting to get into office. People like me are starting to get in office. People that are liberal, that have more liberal views. And all of these 80-year-old and 70-year-old douchebags that were controlling the Congress and controlling all of the branches of our government are either dying or retiring. And the people that are coming up are more liberal. The people that are the decision makers are more liberal, which in turn, that means the voters are more liberal. And you will never, ever, ever go backwards when it comes to gay marriage. You'll never, ever go backwards when it comes to abortion. You will, and more than that, wait until you see what's going to happen for gun rights in the next couple of years. Because if you people, you nut job Republican wackos that think they're never going to modify the Second Amendment and they're never going to modify gun policy, you're out of your fucking mind. More and more people that are growing up in a violent society are acknowledging that there's nothing wrong with a national gun registry. And people that are in the NRA that would follow Charlton Heston screaming, prying this gun out of my cold, dead hand. Nobody has to pry it out of your cold, dead hand. You just have to wait until your cold, dead hand is a fucking dust of fucking bone matter. And then you take the gun and go, thank you, goodbye. Because eventually all of you assholes are dying. And what's left are real decision makers and real people that say you don't need an assault rifle. So people like Rand Paul and people like Ted Cruz, they are nothing more than fucking dog shit on your shoe that you walk on and you gotta pick out with a stick. It's annoying and it's smelly and it takes a little bit of time to get out of your shoe, but at the end of the day, you clean it enough and it's a brand new shoe. It's never gonna ruin the shoe. And just like Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, they're stinky, they're smelly, and they're a pain in the ass, but they're never gonna ruin what we've been marching to in this country and what we've been making great in the stride that we've been doing. And it will never revert back to an era of Republican rule where they win every fucking state in the Electoral College, including California. It will never happen. never, ever happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2:10. We're going to take a break so I can take a pee-pee. I want to pee-pee. You know what pee-peeing is? You do know what pee-peeing is. Good. Well, I'm going to go fucking pee-pee. And when we come back, you little motherfuckers, guess what we're going to do? Guess what we're going to do? Okay? Guess what we're going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to talk about pornography. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about pornography. Okay? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Alexandra goes, the other state's industry is religion and food/agriculture to feed New York and California. Listen, we got Montesino, all right? We got genetically engineered seeds. We can grow all the food we want in bio-fucking huts in this fucking state. Listen, you can take those fucking little states and wipe your ass with it, all right? You can wipe out the people, have them eat their own shit, and take over the land, and we'll be just fine. And we don't need no religion. We don't need no motherfucking Mormons. We don't need nobody. Okay? We got Montesino. Rob Black Show. I'm out of here. We'll be back in, how long? We're going to be back in, oh, God. We're going to be back in 7 minutes. The Unforgiven 3. We'll be right back. With porn. Everybody's favorite. We got funny porn next. I cannot be lost if I got
nowhere to go. Search for seeds of gold. How come it's got so cold? How can I be lost in the memories How can I blame you when it's the actions It's okay. It's outside and still, inside and intoxicated. How can I be lost if I've got nowhere to go? Search for seeds of gold. How come it's got so cold? How can I be lost in the memories I do? How can I thank you when it's me I can't full of gold by the light of golden treasure. How could he know this new God's life would change his life forever? How can I be lost if I've got nowhere to go? Search for seeds of gold. How come it's got so cold? How can I be lost in the memories I live? So how can I thank you when it's the rock and
We are back! We're back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Rob Black Show, and it's, I don't even know what time it is. It's 2:21. It's great to be back. I took a 7-minute break. What the fuck you want from me? You guys gonna fucking bust my balls? Don't fucking bust my balls. Don't you bust my fucking balls. But we're back. Good, none of you guys busted my balls. You fuckers, you screwheads. It's been a long day, man. It's been one of those long days. You know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Okay? Not in a long day bad way. But it's been like one of those just long days. And I just came out of the office in the back there where I had a booger on my head. So it won't come off either. It's a little booger, just a little boogie. I was in the back talking with Tom Byron, the legend. He's a legend, okay? Does anybody know who Tom Byron is? Let me explain something to you. He's a legend, all right? He's a legend. He's a legend, and he's got old meat. It's just old fucking meat. That's all. It's old meat. It's old meat. But a legend of old meat. He's like meat that you would hang up in a meat locker to get ready to make beef jerky. So it's like it's jerky. It's like it's not turkey jerky. It's Byron jerky. It's just old meat that you just put salt on and you go in there and you watch it go from being this perfect tenderloin to eventually just being this old jerky fucking just, and you bite on it and you fucking hurt your fucking teeth and you're just like, oh god, my fucking teeth. That's Byron's fucking meat. Just old fucking, just old meat. That's it. This is old meat. It's like, hey, you got any old meat? Yeah, it's right here. It's Tom Byron's fucking meat. It's old. Old. That's all. It's old meat. Anyways, it's Rob Black, and we are beaming to you live, and we're going to jump into some porn news. And it's funny because there's more porn news than I have, but it's like I have porn news that doesn't require us to visit the websites, but it does. Which, if that makes any sense to you. So, and I have enough news that would actually give Tom Byron a bunch of stories to write about porn. And it's just a matter of what I want to do and what it is that he would want to write about. So it's kind of a quandrium. Is that what you would call it? A quandrium? Seriously, would you call it a quandrium? What would you call it? Can anybody help me? What would you call it? A quandrium, or would you call it a what's another word for something that is together and a mix of things, like damn, I know this word I want to use. I heard it on a movie, and it was such a good word, and I don't fucking remember it now. Anyways, I'm gonna attack after I pick my nose and flick that booger. I'm gonna attack 2 issues or 3 issues, and I guess we could. Man, fuck, I don't know. You know what? It's 226. Okay. We didn't really attack this issue yesterday, so I'll attack it today, and Old Meat can write a story about it. He could write a story about it, I guess now. Seriously, he could write a story about it now, because it will be news, and we didn't really attack it yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about the douchebag Mike South and exactly what that loser's got going on, which is pretty funny because it's really nothing, and especially when you add up to the fact that the guy's been talking about conspiracy theories of people taking down his information that he's looking for. It's like a whole thing, and he's not even reporting about it. I mean, seriously, it's not reporting about anything of pertinent. But that's not what I'm going to jump on right in this minute. What we're going to jump on right now is something that a lot of people were thinking that it was dead because we had not talked about it in a long time. And that reasoning was that when it comes to court cases and it comes to things of this magnitude, they have to run its course. Okay? So let me explain something to you. And are you ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are we ready? Okay. Now let me give you a little history. And let me smarten you up, because some of you probably forget about things, because some of you have an absent mind. And that's all right, because I'm here as Rob Black, your spiritual advisor, to give you guys a 411. Okay. There is an individual in this business that some of you who are new to the website, some of you that are new to the broadcasts might not know, and I'm going to, again, clue you in. And he goes by the name of John Stagliano. He also goes by the names John Stagliano, Inc. He also goes by the name of Evil Angel Productions, Inc. He also goes by the name of Echo Alpha, Inc. And John Stagliano is a pornographer, and he is a filmmaker, if that's what you want to say, that owns the production company Evil Angel Productions. I listed the other names because those are the other names that are involved in a lawsuit. Now, let me give you some back story on this individual. Back in I think it's 1997, I think. I think it was back in 1997. He I'm just laughing because somebody sent me a hilarious Wikipedia post on Mike South. That's really funny. You guys gotta check out Mike South's Wikipedia. It's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. It's really funny. It's so funny. Anyways, I'm going to keep going with this evil angel story, please. Let me go into the story, you guys. So, basically, this man, John Stagliano, back in, I think it was 96, 97, went to Brazil, where he engaged in unprotected anal sex with a transsexual. And what I mean by unprotected anal sex, he had a transsexual who was HIV positive with AIDS put their penis inside his rectum. Very reckless. I've never heard of anybody being so reckless in my life. That equates to a father getting completely shit-faced and driving down the freeway at 100 miles an hour with 4 of his children in the back seat. We all know that Brazil has the highest rate next to Africa as far as HIV positive people. We know that the transsexual population in Brazil is swarming with HIV/AIDS. And anytime you engage in any sexual activity in any third world country, let alone Brazil, it would be advised to wear a condom. Now, this is very telling because it shows the mindset of a man like John Stagliano, and it shows the person and character that he has and he is as we get further in the story. So this individual went to Brazil and got fucked in his asshole by a transsexual with HIV/AIDS. In turn, John Stagliano contracted HIV/AIDS. He then came back to the United States of America, where some 6-7 months later, might have been sooner, I don't know the time frame precisely, he announced that he was HIV positive and that he had AIDS. And subsequently, there was shock, there was disbelief, because the number one thing everybody couldn't figure out was somebody that is such a pillar of the porn community as far as making movies, as far as doing business. How could this person be so irresponsible as to going to Brazil and having unprotected sex and letting a transsexual fuck him up his asshole, bleeding cock and all? And so it made people question the judgment and made people question what kind of individual was amongst the people in the adult business and who they would be doing business with. But at the time, John Stagliano was one of the top companies. Evil Angel has been one of the top companies, and he was put on the map by a man named Patrick Collins. Patrick Collins was the sales manager for Evil Angel, and John Stagliano and Patrick Collins, the great Patrick Collins of former Elegant Angel fame, created Evil Angel along with a man named Bruce Seven, another legendary pornographer who's eventually passed away. So this group created this Evil Angel, and now this John Stagliano, HIV/AIDS positive, is the sole owner of the company and is now running it. Now, he does not put himself in the movies anymore. Why? Because he has HIV/AIDS, and that would not be very responsible to perform in sexual situations with talent. Now, as the years go on, and John Stagliano is on medication, AZT medication, and other types of anti-HIV/AIDS medicine that fights back the inevitable outcome of having HIV/AIDS, which is death, which is hamburger lesions the size of this mouse pad, plastered all over your body, and you eventually die a horrible, painful death. Now, because John Stagliano was rich, he was able to get these treatments that would cost anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 a month. He had the fortunate position to be in to afford this type of medicine. Now, that is 1997. Now, he stayed out of the performing eye for quite a while. For as far as any of us knew, forever. One would think that somebody with HIV/AIDS would not be performing in the adult business anymore. It would almost be a foregone conclusion that that is not responsible. But nonetheless, John Stagliano somehow, and we're not real sure when, the precise moment he did, started putting himself back into his movies. Now, he did a line that is called Stretch Class. And what the movie entails, and what we would consider being as close to the action and performing as you could without literally being in the action. Now, we thought that was the case, but under further inspection, we realized that John Stagliano actually engaged in sexual contact with the girls. And as we investigated, we realized that John Stagliano not only was engaging in sexual contact with girls, he was not informing these girls of his HIV status. Literally. And if you look up the books, and when I say look up the books, there's been criminal cases as recent as a year ago of people in other states who have had HIV/AIDS, never disclosing to their partners that they had HIV/AIDS, and were convicted of things like attempted, I want to say attempted murder, but I don't necessarily think that was the official charge, but it was something that resulted in 10, 15 years of possible incarceration. And different courts have said, and there's been different court cases that have come out recently, that you cannot engage in sexual contact with somebody and you yourself has a communicable disease, whether it's syphilis, HIV/AIDS, and not tell them, and basically put their life and their health at risk. Now, the first movie John Stagliano ever did was called Stretch Class. And if you watch the movie upon further inspection, you will actually see him with a Brazilian woman pull out his penis and put his penis inside this woman's buttocks inside her vagina. Now, I'm not real sure, but I consider that sexual contact. And that was a very shocking act of irresponsibility to us, because there was no way this woman knew that this man was HIV positive. Matter of fact, a lot of the talent that we come to find out never knew John Stalliano was HIV positive. Why? Because he contracted the disease back in 1997. We are in 2014, and when this individual was deceiving the industry and fooling the talent, it was some 12 years. 12 years. Actually 14 years since he had been diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. And in his mind, why would he bring to light information that most of the talent he was going to be working with were merely little kids and had no idea what the porn industry was, let alone a man named John Stalliano who was HIV positive with AIDS. So as we further investigated, we were actually being told by more and more individuals that John Stalliano absolutely doesn't tell anybody he's HIV positive. He doesn't tell a single soul. He engages in sexual contact and sexual situations with performers, and never once does he give them a choice as if they would like to perform in the scenes with him. Now, if you want to say, well, is he coming in their faces? If you want to split hairs on exactly what sexual contact is, I guess you can fall back to just having the common courtesy to giving somebody the fucking choice. And if it's not a big deal that you have HIV/AIDS, why would you not leave that up to the individual to decide if they would like to engage in sexual activity, regardless if it's just a hand in your anus or in your pussy or a dick? And one would gather that the only reason an individual would not inform somebody of their medical status, like having HIV/AIDS, is because that person would actually refuse to do the same. And so by not giving them the choice, you would actually limit your chances of that person turning you down, which in turn ruins the fun. So as we would put on more and more of these stretch class videos, we would see John Stalliano laying on the ground and having women sitting on his face, where his bare mouth, his bare tongue is touching women's anuses, touching women's vaginas. Again, you say, well, Rob, the exposure percentage is very minimal. You're very right. So the question would be, if they're very minimal and there should be no reason for somebody to fear contracting HIV/AIDS, then why would he not divulge this information? Now, I would hope that anybody that I would engage in anything of risky behavior, regardless of how minimal the exposure would be, would give me the common courtesy, especially in the adult business where it has already been proven that we operate on what is known as the trust system. And when you have an HIV test that's on August 1st and you perform with somebody on August 10th, we are to trust that that person is completely responsible during that 9-day period when they are outside of the business. At least that is what I'm always being told and what I'm always reading. So John Staliano is never given any talent, any information about his health status. And a matter of fact, it's been proven by John Staliano's own camp, meaning his own wife, Karen Stagliano, as she's posted on message boards, that John Stagliano does not inform talent that he is HIV positive. And that's coming right from his own wife's mouth, who is HIV positive AIDS. So as you watch more and more videos, you watch John Staliano engage in more and more risky behavior. It's like a drunk driver who drives buzzed one day and gets away with it. And then the next day they drive a little bit more buzzed. And they drive a little bit more buzzed after that, to the point where the alcoholic is driving completely drunk every day of every week of every month. And they're just looking to get caught or get involved in a life-threatening accident, life-damaging, and in turn hurting themselves and or killing another individual. And that is what John Staliano was doing, to the point where he was performing in videos where he was taking metal speculums, things that a doctor would use on a woman at a gynecologist's office. And that doctor would use rubber gloves. John Staliano was using instruments from speculums to metal tongue depressors to metal pussy clamps. You name anything that could possibly inflict a form of abuse onto a woman, John Staliano was using, and anything that was sharp in nature, he was using. Now, that woman was never informed of his HIV/AIDS status. That woman was never using any type of protection, rather they were dental dams or things like that. And John Staliano was not using rubber gloves. But yet, a doctor at an office, rather it's your dentist, or even the doctor when you get a physical who puts on rubber gloves to feel your ball sack, nothing John Staliano was doing that involves safety. He was not wearing rubber gloves. He was not doing anything of that nature. Now, one could argue and say that just the mere fact of handling medical instruments, cold steel, is a health risk. You don't know if John Staliano nicks his hand when he is achieving or getting these instruments from his bags. You don't know where these metal instruments have been. And now we know they go into girls' rectums, but we don't ever see them coming out of sterilization machines like you do at a doctor's office or at a dentist's office. And ultimately, this man is using medical instruments. He's HIV positive on women. And you see this flagrant disregard for people's health. And it's disgusting. Well, one day, a girl by the name of Katie Summers is sitting in the offices of Rob Black. And this is long before I started engaging in any relationship with Katie Summers. And we were all talking, and there was a group of us, where Katie Summers informs us that she did the movie Stretch Class. And I looked at her and said, "Are you serious?" She goes, "Well, yeah." And I said, "You know that guy's got AIDS?" And she said, "What?" And I go, "John Stagliano's got AIDS." And she said, "Nobody ever fucking told me that." And I go, "Nobody ever told you he had AIDS?" She goes, "Fuck no." And she goes, "And I even went to a luncheon and sat there and listened to him and Joey Salvera and my agent at the time talk about how they were the greatest company in the world and how nobody was better than they were." And I go, "And never once did anybody inform you that John Stagliano had AIDS." She goes, "Absolutely fucking not." She goes, "And I worked with him." I go, "Did you have sex with him?" She goes, "No, he never put his dick in me, but he sure the fuck poked at me, stuck fingers in me. He did everything that I wouldn't let somebody do if they just walked up and said, 'Hey, you want to fuck? You want to hang out? Oh, and by the way, I'm HIV positive.'" She goes, "Absolutely fucking not." She goes, "I never even knew the motherfucker was supposed to be in the scene." She goes, "He just started interacting in the scene." And she goes, "And what the fuck? I would never think that the owner of the most prestigious adult film company in the entire world is HIV positive." And I said, "That's pretty fucked up." She says, "You fucking damn right it's fucked up." So I said, "You might need to talk to a lawyer." And so what happened, ladies and gentlemen, Katie Summers went and talked to a lawyer. And during her conversations with this lawyer, they decided to file a lawsuit. And ladies and gentlemen, the lawsuit was filed many months ago. And of course, once that happened, there was a media firestorm from TMZ talking about it to John Stagliano's camp, which is Trisha Devereaux, Trisha Stagliano, Karen Stagliano, going on message boards and starting to smear Katie Summers' name, where Karen Stagliano herself said, yes, John Stagliano never told Katie Summers of his HIV status, but her agent should have said something, and or she should have known, which in turn the question would have to be asked. So talent today is blamed for not knowing the medical status of an individual that contracted HIV/AIDS some 14 years ago, and talent that is at the time, what, 5 years old, 7 years old, should know what was happening with John Stagliano, and the fact that she shouldn't have been told by John Stagliano himself while they sat in Florida and had dinner and had lunch and whatever else they fucking did. And so this bashing of Katie Summers just kept going on and on. And in turn, the lawsuits proceeded, and then it got quiet. And of course, people assumed that, oh, there was nothing to it, and it got thrown out. And I'm here to explain to you, contraire Mon-Fri, furthest from the truth. And when I would tell people that these things take time. And when you're dealing with large multi-million-dollar companies, and you're dealing with multi-million-dollar company lawyers that are charging some $700 to $800 an hour, these things will drag out. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that Katie Summers got her official paperwork in the mail. And that official paperwork says this. The first week of April, Catherine Howard will at 9 a.m. in the morning be engaged in taking the first of what will be many depositions at the hands of the attorneys Paul J. Cambria Jr., Esquire, and Jonathan W. Brown, Esquire, of the lawyer firm Lipschitz Green Scheme Cambria LLP. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Money Lawyer himself, Paul J. Cambria, and his associate will be packing up from 42 Delaware Avenue, Suite 120, Buffalo, New York, and getting on an airplane. And I figure at $800 an hour, this little trip that Paul Cambria and the Lipschitz Green Scheme Cambria LLP are going to take on behalf of John Stalliano, Echo Alpha Inc., John Stalliano Inc., and Evil Angel Productions Inc., is probably going to be a $20,000 to $30,000 trip, where they will with Katie Summers, collectively known as Catherine Howard, and her attorneys will engage in formal depositions of Katie Howard in the case against John Stalliano. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the case that you thought went away couldn't be furthest from the truth. It is now entering the exciting phase, and around April 9th, 2014 at 9:30 a.m., formal depositions will take place, where the attorneys will be able to question Catherine Howard, and then in turn, John Stalliano is going to be engaged in depositions. And John Stalliano and Joey Salvera and Trisha Devereaux and all of the people that are involved in the Evil Angel family will be getting depositions. And hopefully, you see this dollar on the wall? That's the Chris Mann dollar. What that is Tom Byron informed me that Chris Mann's cancer somehow came back. Now, I don't believe that, because this cocksucker's been having cancer for the last 10 years as a good sympathy ploy. But nonetheless, this dollar is the Chris Mann death dollar. Now, I say he's going to last past 6 months. Tom Byron says he's going to be dead as fried chicken in less than 6 months. Nonetheless, if I win, then Tom Byron has to give me $1. If he wins, I got to give him $1. It's kind of the trading places dollar bet. And Chris Mann is going to get a nice deposition where Chris Mann has told Tom Byron that what John Stalliano was doing was wrong. And he was told that it was wrong by people at Evil Angel. And a girl by the name of Sheena Shaw, she's going to get deposition because Sheena Shaw has been John Stagliano's girlfriend for the last year. And Sheena Shaw has gone on the record to inform everybody that she takes dildos and sex toys and crams them up John Stagliano's asshole, which in turn, when they get done, John Stagliano puts them back into bags. And when he performs with other girls for stretch class, he then takes those dildos and crams them up those girls' vaginas and assholes. So Sheena Shaw will get deposed, and she'll have to explain exactly what she knows and exactly how many girls have been infected and or almost infected and or possibly infected with John Stagliano's disease from taking dildos from his rectum and then inserting them into other women's orifices. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, this process is going to now start getting really exciting. Very exciting. And let me explain and read it to you real quick. To all parties and their attorneys of record, please take notice. The representatives, John Stagliano, Echo Alpha Inc., John Stagliano Inc., and Evil Angel Productions, through their counsel, will take the deposition and oral examination of claimant Catherine Howard, also known as Katie Summers. Said deposition will take place on April 9, 2014. At the law offices of LeBeau and Hoffman, LLP, in Los Angeles, California. Said deposition will be taken before a court reporter or other duly qualified officer and shall continue from day to day until completed. Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays excluded. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to start getting exciting. Because you see, there's really nowhere that Cambria and Stagliano or any of them can hide. Because at the end of the day, John Stagliano never informed Katie Summers that he was HIV positive. Never has John Stagliano ever notified any talent that he is HIV positive. John Stagliano's own wife informed everybody that John Stagliano never informed Katie Summers of his HIV status. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now going to see the beginning phases of the ultimate downfall of the most evil motherfucker in the entire adult business. And he goes by the name of John Stagliano. And the amount of people that he has hurt in this past 5 years are all going to come out, because this is going to open the door for many, many more lawsuits to come about. Because after this gets going, you're going to see a whole bunch of more being filed. And you're going to see a whole bunch more depositions taking place by a whole bunch of fucking women that have been lied to, and their lives were put in danger by this piece of shit, John Stagliano. And you can take a look, and what he did was fucking criminal. And take a look at other cases that has transpired throughout the United States where people with HIV positive AIDS have engaged in sexual contact with individuals, and where they were convicted and they were prosecuted. And ladies and gentlemen, these were people that just happened to meet at a nightclub. We're talking about a fucking work environment. We're talking about a motherfucking work environment. We're talking about an adult industry where these individuals sign model releases. Now, John Stalliano had to sign a model release because he's engaged in the scene with Katie Summers. Now, Katie Summers signed model releases, signed HIV reports. Did John Stalliano sign HIV reports? Did John Stalliano sign anything that shows that he is clear of HIV? Does John Stalliano have anything whatsoever? Well, ladies and gentlemen, John Stalliano was never even supposed to be in the scene. John Stalliano was never even supposed to take place and take part in the scene. John Stalliano is a motherfucking piece of shit criminal. And slowly but surely, it is all coming to light. And you will see, and you will hear every day more and more updates as this case progresses in the media, and this scumbag, John Stalliano, gets outed because he's a piece of garbage. He is a motherfucking lying scumbag, and he needs to be put in prison. Plain and simple, my friends. And there is your fucking news of the day. The Katie Summers, John Stalliano court case as it moves forward into the deposition phase, and it's going to be quite exciting to watch what happens because, see, the facts and truth are on Katie Summers' side. And what's on John Stalliano's side? HIV, AIDS, lies, deception, and his entire organization saying, A, he should have fucking not done what he did, B, he should have fucking told people, and C, they told him he was going to get in trouble for doing this. That, my friends, accompanied with the fact that it's going to cost $20,000 to $30,000 just to watch Paul Cambria fly his greasy little dago ass down here, gives all the indication that John Stalliano is going down. Now the question is, will John Stalliano go down before this piece of shit Chris Mann shits the bed? Or will Chris Mann be alive long enough to watch his fucking boss get strung up by his Buster Browns? That's going to be the other side story here. It's the Rob Black Show, ladies and gentlemen, and we are closing out. It's 3:09, okay? It's 3:09 right now, and it's time to go. This is the Rob Black Show, and we are going to be back with you tonight at 8 p.m. 8 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. You know what 8 p.m. is? 8 p.m. And you will be hearing more excitement. You'll be hearing awesomeness. You'll be hearing the greatest things in the world. What will they be? They're everything that comes out of my mouth. That's what it will be, you motherfuckers. Because I speak greatness. I am constantly talking about awesomeness. And of course, I'm constantly talking about Katie Summers, who is just awesome and beautiful and all that good stuff. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. And if you guys feel like jerking off right now, I want you to go on over and watch Katie Summers. Get to Katie Summers at katiesummersxxx.cammodels.com. That's Katie Summers xxx.cammodels.com. She will be on there, and she's on there actually right now. And take a look at the most beautiful girl in the world, and she'll do all sorts of crazy things. And she'll fucking, I don't know, she'll just do crazy shit. So go over there right now. Go there to katiesummersxxx.cammodels.com because she wants to go and buy a new bed. So go there. And she wants to buy a new bed. So go watch her play with her pussy so she can buy a new bed. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to go to Amazon.com, go to the iBookstore on iTunes, and buy the new books by Rob Black. And that is Extreme Thoughts by Rob Black and Drink the Kool-Aid by Rob Black. Both books are awesome. They're phenomenal. And you will laugh your fucking asses off when you read them. So go right now and read the goddamn books. Buy the fucking books. You can do samples, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. So it's the Rob Black Show. We're signing out of here. I'm going to see you motherfuckers tonight at 8 p.m. Be here. Don't be gay. Or be gay in a good way. How's that? Be gay in a happy way. Be gay in a way that exemplifies greatness to gays. Don't be gay that makes gays not look cool. So just make sure you're super gay. Almost like Superman, but we call it super gay. And you have a big old fucking G on your chest. It's fucking super gay. It's the Rob Black Show. And you know what this means? It's closing time. We're going to see you guys tonight at 8 p.m.